On Dispatch tonight, your layout photos, the question of the week, and a big shout out. Starting right now. Good evening. You're watching Dispatch, the weekly show for model railroaders. I'm Roy Smith, your dispatcher. Thank you for joining me tonight. As I said, we have your layout photos, the question of the week, and a big shout out coming up on tonight's show. But first, two announcements. First announcement. You may have noticed that this edition of Dispatch is a day late. I have to tell you that it's becoming harder and harder for me to stay on schedule. I must be getting old. In any case, I urge you to hit the notification bell on my channel so that you will be notified of my uploads, whether they occur on time or are late. Second announcement. The big get-together of model railroaders in Strasburg, Pennsylvania during the weekend of May 16th and 17th has been canceled due to the global health crisis. Sparky 107, who has been organizing this event, announced the cancellation in his live stream last Wednesday evening. We've all been looking forward to this event for a long time, but for obvious reasons it has to be postponed. So here I sit in my train room instead of packing my suitcases for a long trip to Virginia and Pennsylvania, where I go this time every year. But I wouldn't be able to travel to the States and to Strasburg in any case, because the government of Panama has just extended the suspension of all commercial passenger flights into and out of Panama for another 30 days, effective until May 22nd. As most of you know, I live here in Panama, so I won't be going anywhere for a while. However, I do look forward to seeing all of you in Strasburg at some time in the future when the event can be rescheduled. Now then, first up on tonight's show, your layout photos. Many of you posted photos of your layouts in our Facebook group this week. As always, I have brought your photos over here to Dispatch to share with everyone during the show tonight. And here they are. After the show, be sure to go over to the Facebook group, join the group, and post a photo of your layout there because we'd like to see what you're doing on your layout. I will put a link down below, and that will take you to the Facebook group. You will know you're at the right place when you see this photo of Echo Canyon on my layout. Next up on tonight's show, the question of the week. And this week's question is, when running trains, what do you most prefer doing? 1, rail fanning, that is watching your trains run. 2, switching operations, whether industrial, classification, or interchange operations. 3, running passenger service. Or 4, none of the above, that is something else. And here's how you responded to this question. Those of you who most enjoy rail fanning said it's a great way for relaxing and reducing stress. You can just turn on your trains and watch them run as long as you like. Those of you who enjoy operations said that you enjoy the challenge of trying to do it efficiently and trying to recreate the movements of real trains. A few of you said that your layout is too small for operations, but I don't think that you need a big layout to do operations. You probably can do it with a single loop of track and 1 spur. Many people say that HO scale is better suited for switching, especially industrial switching. And other people say that N scale is better suited for running long trains through vast expanses of scenery. Well, I don't know if this is true or not. You be the judge. But I do think that doing operations, especially industrial operations, will work better if you keep it in mind when drawing up your track plan. Some of you who prefer to run passenger service said that you live in Europe, where passenger trains are much more common than they are in the U.S. Others of you said that you went for a ride on a passenger train when you were young. That left a lasting impression on you. Finally, a few of you said that you prefer to do something else, that is, none of the choices listed above. Perhaps you just enjoy collecting trains and running them isn't your primary interest. Or perhaps you don't have a layout yet and you don't know what you would prefer doing. Now, we do have a question for the coming week, and here it is. But first, I want to tell you that this week's question, or questions, will be conducted differently from what we normally have done in the past. We're going to do a poll, and the poll will appear shortly in a card up here. This is the first time that we've done a poll like this on Dispatch, so I just hope it works out okay. To give you a heads up, the poll will consist of 2 questions. The 2 questions concern model railroading and YouTube channels. Each of the 2 questions will require a simple yes or no answer. The questions you will see are: 1, do you post model railroad videos on your channel? And 2, have you completed the About page on your channel? Before the poll appears, let me mention that 2 friends in the hobby inspired this poll, Sparky107 and Ralph Greenwood. Sparky inspired the first of the 2 questions in the poll by recently uploading a series of 3 videos in which he invited you to watch videos posted by other model railroaders and to subscribe to their channels if you haven't done it yet. I will put a link to Sparky's channel down below where you can go to watch his 3-part series of videos. The second question was inspired by Ralph Greenwood, who in one of his recent videos encouraged you to complete the About page on your channel. I will also put a link to Ralph's video down below. As always, I will share your responses to these 2 questions in Dispatch next week. But for now, I need to say a couple of words. First, you are never required to post model railroad videos on your channel. In fact, most of my subscribers have not posted any videos on their channels. They just want to watch other people's videos. The second thing I'd like to say about subscribing to YouTube channels is this. When you subscribe to other people's channels, be sure to avoid trying to do a sub for sub. Doing a sub for sub means this: you subscribe to me and I will subscribe to you. Or I subscribe to you, now will you subscribe back? Doing this is a violation of YouTube's terms and conditions, and your channel can be terminated if you do it. And third, I'd like to say this about subscribers. The number of subscribers that you have isn't the most important thing in creating a successful YouTube channel. Far more important than your number of subscribers is your watch time. That is the number of minutes that people spend watching your videos. YouTube likes your subscribers to stay engaged by watching your videos right up to the end, or at least as long as possible, and then going on to watch other videos on your channel instead of leaving your channel. The most important thing of all is, if you want more subscribers, the best way to get them is to make videos having high quality content that people enjoy watching. Now, as for the About page, which Ralph Greenwood discussed in his recent video, I will have a few things to say concerning it in Dispatch next week. And I think the About page on your channel is very important. Just for fun, I put the link to my About page down below so that you can go check it out after the show ends tonight. One last thing I need to say before the poll appears. When Dispatch ends tonight, I'd like you to go down to the comment section to tell me that you responded to the poll and to post any comments that you may have in response to the poll. All right, enough of this chatter. Here's the poll. I will be back in 20 seconds or so. Okay, thanks for responding to the poll. I will share the results with you in Dispatch next week. And now it's time for tonight's big shout out. And tonight's big shout out goes to Sean Moore and his HO scale Norfolk Southern Val Valley Subdivision. Sean's layout fills a room that measures 12 feet by 9.5 feet. He has been working on it since January 2016, and I can tell you that he has packed a lot of railroad into that room. The layout is a fictitious, freelance layout that Sean says could be set in the area of Erie, Pennsylvania, where he grew up. The Val Valley Railroad features multiple levels, lots of industries and bridges, and lift-up sections to get in and out of the train room. From the main lower level, the track climbs a 4% grade to the upper level. No helices for Sean. Sean has come up with a complete history for his railroad. It goes something like this. In its day, the Val Valley was a busy little short line that made most of its money by hauling coal. But recently, the Norfolk Southern swallowed up the Val Valley Railroad through a series of mergers with railroads in that area, and the Val Valley is now a subdivision of the Norfolk Southern. But you can still see some Val Valley rolling stock running on Sean's railroad. I contacted Sean, and he said that he is honored to have his layout featured on Dispatch tonight. But I think he's the one honoring us by letting us see his layout. Let's go over and take a look at it right now.
Welcome to the Val Valley Model Railroad. My name is Sean Moore, and I invite you to the Val Valley Layout Tour 2019. In this video series, you will be taken on a video journey through my model railroad. First, we will view each section through the eyes of a visiting rail fan. Then, we will step back and have a look at each section of the layout from a modeler's perspective. We will produce an episode about every 2 to 3 weeks. Each episode will cover 2 or so sections of the layout.
Okay, you've had a chance to see a bit of Sean's layout here on Dispatch tonight. You can go over to his channel to see the rest of it. And if you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, be sure to do that too. I will put a link down below to it. Sean, I love your layout. Thanks for sharing it with us here on Dispatch tonight. Now, if you still haven't seen my latest video, I hope you will go watch it after the show tonight. It's called Intermodal Traffic on My Model Railroad. In it, we follow the progress of an intermodal train as it crosses the Union Pacific Evanston Subdivision en route from Chicago to Los Angeles. This video is turning out to be very popular on YouTube. You can make it go viral by sharing it on your social media. I will put a link to it down below. Don't forget to take the poll about model railroading and YouTube video creation in the question for the coming week if you haven't done it yet. If you missed it earlier in this video, I will repeat it in the description to this video down below, and you can respond to it in the comments section. There are tons of other videos for you to watch right here on this channel. You can go to several of them just by clicking down here. Well, thanks for letting me share the world's greatest hobby with you on Dispatch tonight. I'm Roy Smith. Until next time, happy railroading.